Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name's Amelia and it's been a while, I know. I've been caught up with a lot of uni stuff, but I think I'm kind of free for a bit now, so I'm going to work on doing some more with my music and also recording these videos because I love doing that. Today I'm going to be reacting to the debut album of Fleshwater, which is We're Not Here to Be Loved. Fleshwater's, if you didn't know, an American, I guess, alternative metal shoegaze band apparently, and I'm very excited to hear what they've got to offer. I've loved a lot of things in those both styles, Deftones, Loathe, to name a few. One thing I'm going to be looking out for is making sure it's not too derivative of their kind of styles and bring something new to the table. Before we get into this, I also work on music, and here's a little snippet off of one of the songs of my previous album.
My skin crawls with a million tiny feet. An empire of insects I can't defeat. A curse of sentience.
If you liked it, feel free to have some more listens to my stuff. No pressure though. Anyway, I think it's time we actually get into the meat and potatoes of this video, which is reacting to Fleshwater's We're Not Here to Be Loved. Let's go to the first song, Baldpate Driver. A little ambient intro kind of thing happening. I've got the lyrics up on my other monitor. Symbol. Oh, hell yeah. Love that high-pitched kind of dissonant tone there. Production's great on this. I love the snare. That sounds kind of flat but also resonant at the same time. Yeah, the filter's sweeping around there. That's an interesting vocal tone. It reminds you of Viva Melancholia. This section's cool. Oh, we're getting like the pause kind of back into it, if I feel. Like using time in like a really interesting way. Rests. And bringing back intention with this riff in the left ear. All those high noises. Ooh, that's a cool interval. Ooh. Is that a different vocalist? It's like somewhere in between Deftones and Loathe, but it's actually, it feels so original. Damn, that like snare and tom fill. Yeah, those cymbals. I love those harmonies, it's beautiful. It's like interweaving, like counter melodies. It's really nice. Ooh, feedback. Ooh. The dissonance is so cool. Ooh, the timing here. The speed of that scream as a transition point is so cool. Well, you get some feedback there. I love feedback. There's so many different rhythmic like sections of this. I think it's really cohesive. Ooh, getting more tense as we go on. Screams coming in. It's almost like a shepherd's tone. Ooh. What an opener. That was great. That's amazing. Wow, I'm kind of a bit lost for words. That was incredible. I'm going to have a look at the lyrics a little bit more now, see if I can delve into the meaning behind this song. There's some metaphors for like a car crash I see, bracing for already in the first verse, bracing for impact with eyes hit the rear view, God's in the picture again, floating through the ether to crash down like the leaves do. We have time but not enough to breathe. So that's like, a sort of a reference to, I guess, knowing that you're about to die in a car crash in a way, I think. Always with my interpretations here, taken with a grain of salt or whatever, I'm just getting this from a first listen. Yeah, life escaping serenade, elevating in the driveway. Yeah, it seems to be very much about, yeah, at the end even, don't crash, don't crash, don't. That's pretty harrowing. I guess it makes sense with the Baldpate Driver. Oh, it's like hooning, because it's like you don't have a number plate. So it's kind of like a similar concept to Boy Races by Squid. That's really cool. Let's get to the next song, Closet. Ooh. This is some weird experimentation here. Like the echoey key. Ooh. Getting this kind of like field recording sort of vocal sample kind of feeling. It's a weird sense, mixture between like tenseness but floating at the same time. All those intervals. This is so good. Why didn't I know about these people sooner? Those rhythms and those scrapes of the guitar neck. You hear that low guitar on the left, or is it maybe a bass? Oh, feedback. Oh, those high notes. The contrast between the two vocalist voices are really cool. We've got a sort of harsher and then a little more ethereal. The open intervals in the chords are really interesting. And sort of almost like a half breakdown there into the end of the song.
What's your problem?
Oh.
Then why are you here?
Oh, and I'm gonna let it transition into the Razor's Apple because that did that perfectly. And I'll analyze them both afterwards. Oh my gosh, the rhythms here are awesome. Da 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 da. It's like the syncopation and then the rest when at the end of the bar, right? You kind of have a new recontextualized sort of feeling. Feedback. The feedback pause is so nice. I remember Sprain did that a lot with the Lamb as Effigy. It's kind of like a building off of these like riffs and chords. It might sound a little bit basic, but it's also like, in my analysis, but it's also like, it's a really driving feeling from that same temporal time element. The snare sounds like it's in like a resonant body or something. Like a pipe or a tube or something. Corrugated iron. Ooh, that bass tone is crazy. It's like, yeah. I really like the vocal processing here. Oh yeah, that's how you do it. Bring it in with like the lo-fi kind of feeling, then bring it outwards wide. This is a very good vocal melody. It's like a really good combination between like the jumps in it and also just like the stepwise motion, creating a very, I wouldn't say catchy, but it's memorable melody. We're still climbing there. Once again, I really like the counter melodies, and I really like that too. Counter melody is a really good way to add interest to a sort of to a section that you think needs a little bit more elevation. We're leaving out on the distortion. Damn, that was a good 2-song run between Closet and the Razor's Apple. Let's do some lyric analysis now. Let's have a look. The kind of surface level thing that I think when I think of Closet is like coming out of the closet, but I'm gonna have a look more in the lyrics. Because it also seems, what I got from the little snippets that I heard during listening to the song is like, it feels like being a shut-in and like not being able to see yourself in the outside world, I guess, or get into the outside world without fear. Which I kind of guess it goes in with that metaphor if we're talking about coming out of the closet, but it's also just like, could be less specific in that regard. And with The Razor's Apple, it's a lot more wordy, so I'm going to have to give me a second. First verse I'm looking at, it seems to be very much about mental health and struggling to feel confident in yourself and not trusting yourself. And it's also just like, it feels like it's referring to like you can only, in a negative mindset, you only can prolong the space between bouts of sadness and you can't fix the problem, which is an unhealthy mindset, but I think it's kind of what they're going for there in like a kind of riffing on that theme of depression or mental health issues. I really like those two songs. Go to the next song, Woohoo. If it was a Deftones song, they'll be referencing The Sims when they say that. Ooh, Accountant. These are really complex riffs. There's a lot of like different elements on top of each other right now. There's a lot of layers. I really like how the kind of phrases in the instruments accentuate the words or like different parts and endings and starts of the phrasing of the vocals. They're kind of like building together. Like you'd accentuate like a accented word, whatever. It's interesting how the melody is like almost in a major key. With like the dark lyricism. I'm looking at it whilst listening to it this time. It seems to be, once again, talking about that hoon driving. If you're not an Australian, this means joyriding. I feel like there's like another octave on those guitars. It sounds really interesting. You need to stop saying interesting. That was a cool way to transition there. These overlapping vocals again. Into this slower section. It's like the halftime groove in the drums. I really like those just like three notes and then leaving in the tail to like drift out until the next bar, the next measure. This is so cool. The production there is so stellar. We're leaving out on once again the drone of the guitar. Oh, we got some cool delay things there. Echo's building. Let's see if it transitions. Okay, it kind of does, so I'll pause it here. Wow, I think that song was incredible, and specifically in a way, I was looking at the lyrics whilst I was listening, and one thing I noticed, like kind of halfway through, was like almost like an epiphany. It's like, it feels to me like the lyrics are describing the car accident that killed someone, but from the perspective of the person who was the one who caused the accident. So it's like, what if? Remind yourself sitting alone wishing for a what if. Like, what if that didn't happen? What if I didn't do that? Or maybe even the family around it. But the things earlier that kind of gave me that idea was like, I locked the keys inside the car next to the infant crying in your heart. So it's like too scared to get back in the car to know what you did before. At least that's my interpretation. Anyway, let's get on to the next song, Linda Clare. Doing some chromatic notes. Or some feedback in again. And the drums getting more intensity. Those pauses, I love the rhythmic pauses. There's almost like a bluesy lilt to this kind of song here. Ooh, that slide. You know, that harmony in the background that I really love. Ooh, that feedback. Ooh, there's like a whammy bar in the right here there. You hear the notes bending. we're building. Oh. This almost reminds me of a post-hardcore section. It's almost like a larger speed instrumental. That's a cool guitar solo. You know, those dissonant notes, it's like so close together. It's almost Tom Morello-y in a little way. Just that. Oh. Oh, that feedback! I talked about this before, but the feedback pause is one of my favorite things. I remember that being used a lot on The Lammer's Effigy by Sprain. And I think it works really well here. I didn't expect it in this context, but it works well. Kind of keeping with the theme of ending on just like a distorted note. Oh. I really like the cohesion in this project, how they really take it like an attempt into transitioning the song into the next song. Let's have a look at the lyrics of Linda Clare. I can glean a little bit from these lyrics, but I feel like I need to read through and listen again multiple times, especially with this song, because the theme seems very, well, not obfuscated, but shrouded in what the interpretation could be. It seems very open-ended, but I think it's about like a falling out between people. At times I've thought I've been drowning. I bet you'd like if I was failing. Thanks to you, I'm just starting. It seems like almost like a rivalry maybe, but then it's also just like individuality maybe, because it's like there's so many like themes that are like mixing together. It's a good concept to have in your lyrics where you just think that every time you listen to them, you glean something new from them or you find a new interpretation. All right, let's go to the next song. Kiss the Ladder. Ooh.
So why are you here?
Let's slide down. Ooh, that high riff. Feedback. This is a really interesting texture here. There you go, we got basically the title track there. This is such a cool shoegazy riff. I don't want to be anyone. These pauses are so nice. And we're gonna build back up. I like how it's just like the left ear and then we get the right ear when it's like filling out the stereo spectrum more. Ooh. That's a really short song. It's interesting to have such a short song to effectively act as the title track. This is a sort of, what I can glean from the lyrics is it's self-deprecating and it's like, what am I here for? It's a mixture between that and dissociation. And I think that some people may say, okay, if the song is that short, does it add enough meaning? And I would say, yeah, it does. I believe the next song is a cover of a Bjork song, so that's going to be interesting in this style. Let's have a listen. Enjoy. Okay, give me that bass riff, some feedback. There's some awesome sound design before. Oh. It's almost like around the third Deftones. What did I say? It's a bit around the third Deftones. Oh, that like ambient pad in the background. I don't know if that's a guitar or like a lot of reverb, but I just think it really adds to the feeling the song brings. All those intervals. So not saying much, I'm just kind of just like taking all it in. Yep. That was like one of the quickest feedbacks I've heard, like ever. Those intervals. And they've got like this really like overwhelming atmosphere in the background produced by like these like repeated quick guitar strums. You can hear them. even if it's mostly like reverbed out in the shoegazy way. You can hear that harmony in the background. The Enjoy seems so tired and like sarcastic. It's almost like the feedback's being played like an instrument there, because you can hear it going down chromatically. Oh, there's like a marching drum snare there. Oh. And still coming back out. And then, oh yeah. That was a really quick count-in. I think that was a really interesting way to do it, rather than da, 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 da. So it's da, da, and you're in. Oh. I think it ended a bit abruptly there, but that might also just be a criticism of the original Bjork song. I haven't heard the original Bjork song. I know it's on Post, and I haven't listened to that album yet. I will have to in the future, though. Yeah, I really like that song. I think the cover kind of... I was worried it wasn't going to fit in with the rest of the theme of the project, but it does. And it's interesting to bring in that kind of concept of we're not here to be loved really in the second half, rather than the first half, which is kind of exploring the story, at least in my mind. And then now it's like almost like a... I keep saying self-deprecating, but it's also, in a way, talking about knowing that you're worth more, with the whole like, I wish I'd only look and didn't have to touch. It's like, Bjork's lyricism is always difficult to pin down exactly what she's meaning, so it feels almost explorative in a way, but also explorative of self. I wouldn't say a negative way, but it seems to have had negative consequences. Let's go to the second last song, Backstairs Breathing. That's an interesting title. It's another short song. Starting with some ambience. So is that a car going past? Oh. Almost getting some alternative rock vibes here. Ooh. Bass bloomed and then quickly taken away. Oh yeah. There's a really nice kind of like calm before a storm atmosphere there. A good break to have in the album. I feel like before the final barrage, it's going to be the end of this song in Foreign. Like a place to rest. The guitar melody on the left is done in a really deft way. That high note. It's interesting there's not much happening on that one beat in the bar. There. It feels almost like a stop-start. Leaving on feedback. Well, I'll talk about the lyrics there. Quickly, it just seems like you're either missing someone or feeling the effects of the end of a romantic relationship. Let's get into the song. Final song, Foreign. Counted. This feels like a Sprain song. I keep mentioning that comparison, but I feel like I didn't expect that comparison. Wow, there's so much complexity happening in like all of the different instruments here. I love how the ride bell is used. Well, not right now, but before. So many fills happening. Whoa. It's almost like it changed the time signature or tempo there. They're both so good at writing melodies for vocals. So it also reminds me of Screaming by Loathe. That stitch will rip before it's sewn. That's a good lyric. Halftime section. It's almost like quarter time. It feels so slow here. That's a good thing. Oh, slowing down again. That almost gave me some slow dive vibes in the way the vocals are processed there. This is such a creative way of doing this. Oh, I forgot to add Backstairs Breathing to my like songs. Whoops, I did now. Yeah, that delay still. I like how it opens up more there. Oh yeah. The spraying comparison is once again here. I think it's specifically in the drumming here. I think I'm thinking of the reclining nude, speeding back up. I think we're gonna go into the ending crescendo of the song. Everything's very like on beat. I think that's 8th note. And screaming in the background. It's cool the contrast they used there. Oh, you can hear the beating patterns of distortion there. That was cool. Ooh. That bass tone. It's cool that sounded just like, it felt like it just faltered and then just like fell down. Now we're getting the kind of atmospheric section. It's going through the harmonic series there. This is really patient. Oh, almost some Giles Corey vibes here. Just that like, just completely reeved out and like wavering. And it's all collapsing down. And that was We're Not Here to Be Loved. And I'm going to quickly do some lyric analyzing, but I feel like it's kind of just like wrapping up all of the interconnecting storylines that were used before and like kind of giving a more broader perspective on the ideas. So it's simultaneously looking inward and outward, where it's, as I said before, wrapping up the story and then bringing like context to the second section. As I said before, this is all just my interpretation. And then it's kind of also looking outward a bit. It's just like, nobody noticed whose eyes were open when they died. It's like no one's seeing from the outside. Everything's so insignificant. But yeah, I really, really enjoyed that project. I think I'm thinking I'm feeling an 80... Actually, no, I'm actually going to raise that. I think I'm feeling an 84 out of 100. I liked it just as much as I let it in and took everything. Editing Amelia here, it's actually really grown on me after a few more listens, and I'm going to feel an 85 on it right now. And it kind of fits in the same vibe, but in a different context. And it's got a lot of character, and I really like the interweaving vocal lines from the both vocalists, and the instrumentation is amazing. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, thank you so much for watching. Feel free to leave a like, subscribe, whatever. It's up to you entirely. I hate doing the bloody self-promo stuff. But yeah, once again, here's a little part of a song from my upcoming album to see you out. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.